Hi there, my name's Sean, and I want to talk about Rocco's modern life. Today, let's dive into one of the most iconic roommate disasters in Nickelodeon history, Bedfellows. We open with Heffer returning home after a workout, only to find his parents have something to tell him. Heffer brushes them off and heads for his room where he discovers a family of mice moving in and shouts,
Mom! Dad! Vermin! There's vermin in my room!
Yeah, they signed a lease.
Signed a lease?
Before explaining that he's been laid off. Times are rough and the family needs to make sacrifices, starting with Heffer's room. Virginia tries to soften the blow by saying she's fixed up the old treehouse out back. It's a sweet gesture, until the whole thing collapses under Heffer's weight within moments.
Be it ever so... Ow.
Later that night, we cut to Rocco's house. It's 2:30 a.m. when the doorbell rings. A half-asleep Rocco stumbles through the dark, tripping over Spunky, and opens the door to find Heffer standing there, who immediately helps himself to a piece of leftover pizza crust sitting in Rocco's living room. Heffer explains that his parents rented out his room and asks to crash at Rocco's house for a few days. Rocco, being the polite wallaby he is, agrees and offers him the couch. Unfortunately, the couch isn't having it. In true Rocco's modern life absurdity, the furniture comes alive and yells at Heffer to move his tanker tush somewhere else, and storms out of the house in protest.
Now listen here, tanker tush. You can park your thunder treats in someone else's face, because I deserve better than this. Sayonara, Butterball!
That night, Heffer wakes Rocco again, asking if he can sleep in his bed instead. Rocco reluctantly agrees, only to find himself crammed into his dresser drawer while Heffer snores so loud it shakes the entire neighborhood. Rocco tries to use the cattle prod to silence him, zapping him while muttering,
I knew this would come in handy one day. Blazes.
Sheila?
The next morning, Heffer greets the day chipper as ever, while Rocco looks like he hasn't slept in years. A vice clamp and pillows on his head, his eyes twitching, the whole package. Heffer recounts to Rocco the crazy dream he had, and then heads to the restroom for his beauty bath. But before Rocco can fall back asleep, Heffer begins belting it out. Of course he's the type to sing in the shower. When Rocco finally gets in afterward, the bathroom looks like a post-apocalyptic crime scene. Body hair everywhere, sludge in the sink, and the toilet? Let's just say it's better left unseen. When Rocco returns later, he finds Heffer and Spunky partying in the living room, blasting loud music. Rocco is shocked to find his entire house setup has changed. Apparently, Heffer's donated all of his stuff to charity. Before Rocco can even react, Heffer insists that he thanks him over dinner. Presenting the Heffer Deluxe. Rocco digs in and finds himself pleasantly surprised. When Rocco asks what's in it, Heffer launches into a proud list.
There's pickled banana shavings, gym socks, canned haggis, beetle bladders, real processed head cheese, saltpeter, reconstituted corn sweat, the finest barley and hops. Now where was I? Potash, sulfur, monosodium glutamate, and vegetable cartilage as a binding agent.
Rocco looks horrified but forces a polite smile. As for dessert, Heffer souffle a la flambe. The phone rings. Heffer answers and it's his mom. He cheerfully tells her that he's found a new home and plans to stay with Rocco forever, and ever, and ever, and ever. The day ends with Rocco getting another sleepless night from his dresser drawer, while Heffer's snoring jackhammers through any semblance of peace or serenity. The next day, Rocco returns home from work and approaches his doorstep. As he reaches for the handle, he hesitates and shields his eyes in preparation for whatever surprises or horror may come his way. To his misfortune, he finds clothes strewn about haphazardly around the house. He makes his way into the kitchen to find Heffer completely nude, mixing a bowl of punch. Rocco tries to follow Heffer as he heads out the back door, only to be stopped by a nude doorman who strips Rocco of his clothing as Rocco tries to push past him.
Oh, cobblers! Crikey! What's going on?
To Rocco's horror, his entire backyard is filled with nude strangers, laughing, conversing, sunbathing. There's even a nudist band playing. It's a full-blown nudist shindig. Rocco confronts Heffer, who informs him that through his new nomadic lifestyle and opportunity for exploration and freedom, he's now a nudist. Ed Bighead, spying from his window next door, explodes in disgust, exclaiming to Beverly,
Do you know what that weirdo next door is up to? Yeah, well, nude!
Beverly, of course, based on the context from Leapfrogs, is thrilled at the idea of a bunch of nudists having a party next door and commandeers Ed's binoculars to observe the party herself, even insisting Ed quickly go gather the telescope from the hall closet. We cut back to Rocco's yard as he's announcing he wants everyone gone this instant. As the party clears out, he lays into Heffer, explaining that he's crossed the line and clearly disrespected the boundaries of Rocco's friendship, generosity, hospitality, and personal property. Heffer, on the other hand, is too distracted by his own hunger to listen. As he tunes Rocco out, he determines it's a good time to let him know that he's been planning on moving back in with his family and that living with Rocco just isn't working out. Apparently, Rocco's too difficult to live with, but I'm pretty sure Heffer's the absolute nightmare to live with here.
Rocco, I hope you're not disappointed. We're still friends, aren't we?
We'll always be friends.
Heffer's dad comes through the front door just as a nude Heffer and Rocco are hugging it out. Apparently, his mom insisted George come pick up Heffer and bring him home. The episode ends with Rocco finally trying to sleep, only to be woken again by Mrs. Bighead's own nudist after-party next door.
It's Mrs. Bighead. And the nudists!
Ev, what are all these freaks doing here?
Oh, shut up, Ed, and get your trousers off and join the party, 'cause we are gonna boogie till the sun comes up.
Bedfellows keeps things simple yet sharp. It's a fast-focused story about how friendship and cohabitation don't always mix. The episode mirrors The Odd Couple, even referencing it directly, and escalates quickly from mild roommate friction to total cartoon mayhem. Its pacing stays tight, balancing relatable tension with surreal comedy like the talking couch and the nudist party. That balance of chaos and character contrast makes Bedfellows one of Rocco's most memorable early highlights. Fans remember this episode because it nails the reality of incompatible roommates in the most absurd way possible. For kids, it was just funny. It's a messy friend overstaying his welcome. But for adults rewatching, it's painfully relatable. Everybody's had that friend who's too loud, too lazy, or just too oblivious to boundaries. There's also a strong nostalgia factor. Bedfellows aired in 1993, and fans often recall it as one of the most memorable early pairings of Rocco and Heffer's friendship dynamic. The mix of chaos, domestic tension, and odd couple humor became a defining feature of the show's identity. Bedfellows reminds us that even strong friendships need space to survive. The story's humor exaggerates the simple truth that generosity without limits leads to frustration. When Bedfellows first aired, the lesson was simple. Be a good guest, respect your friend's space, and don't overstay your welcome. Watching it now, the heart of the story feels timeless. Even close friendships can strain when personal space disappears. It's a reminder that kindness and boundaries have to coexist. For longtime fans, it also invokes that familiar post-college nostalgia. Living with friends, learning patience, and realizing that too much togetherness can drive anyone crazy. The snoring, the chaos, the clutter, they're all symbols of growing up and figuring out where you end and someone else begins. Ultimately, Bedfellows shows that friendship lasts longest when everyone has room to breathe.
I had this wild dream. Electric eels were biting my butt. Time for my beauty bath.
So what do you think? Does Bedfellows still hold up as one of Rocco's funniest roommate disasters, or is it just another dose of 90s Nickelodeon chaos that hits a little too close to home? Let me know down below. I'm releasing videos like this every week, so if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing so that you can stay tuned in for the next one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
No, don't have a cow.